The Northrop B-2 Spirit, which you might know as the stealth bomber, is an American heavy strategic bomber. It's got this low-observable stealth technology that's specifically designed to penetrate really dense anti-aircraft defenses. As a subsonic flying wing with a crew of just 2, the aircraft was designed by Northrop, later Northrop Grumman, as the prime contractor. Boeing, Hughes and Vought were the principal subcontractors, and well, it was produced from 1988 to 2000. The bomber can actually drop both conventional and thermonuclear weapons, like up to 8,500-pound class JDAM GPS-guided bombs or 16 2,400-pound B-83 nuclear bombs. The B-2 is, interestingly, the only acknowledged in-service aircraft that can carry large air-to-surface standoff weapons in a stealth configuration. Development of the B-2 began under the Advanced Technology Bomber Project during the Carter administration, which, cancelled the Mach 2-capable B-1A bomber, partly because the ATB showed such promise. But honestly, development difficulties delayed progress and, well, drove up costs quite a bit. In the end, the program produced 21 B-2s at an average cost of about $2.13 billion each, roughly $4.17 billion in 2024, including development, engineering, testing, production, and procurement. Building each aircraft cost an average of $737 million, while total procurement costs, including production, spare parts, equipment, retrofitting and software support, averaged $929 million, or about $1.11 billion in 2023 per plane. The project's considerable capital and operating costs made it pretty controversial in the US Congress, even before the end of the Cold War, which of course dramatically reduced the desire for a stealth aircraft designed to strike deep into Soviet territory. As a result, in the late 1980s and 1990s, lawmakers cut the planned purchase from 132 bombers down to just 21. The B-2 Spirit was developed to take over the US Air Force's vital penetration missions, allowing it to travel deep into enemy territory to deploy ordnance, which could even include nuclear weapons. The B-2 is a flying wing aircraft, meaning it doesn't actually have a fuselage or tail. It has some significant advantages over previous bombers, thanks to its blend of low-observable technologies, high aerodynamic efficiency, and a large payload. Low observability gives it greater freedom of action at high altitudes, which, in turn, increases both its range and the field of view for onboard sensors. The US Air Force reports its range as approximately 6,000 nautical miles, or about 6,900 miles, which is around 11,000 kilometers. At cruising altitude, the B-2 refuels every 6 hours, taking on up to 50 short tons of fuel at a time. The development and construction of the B-2 actually required pioneering use of computer-aided design and manufacturing technologies, mainly due to its complex flight characteristics and the need to maintain very low visibility to multiple means of detection. The B-2 bears a real resemblance to earlier Northrop aircraft. The YB-35 and YB-49 were both flying wing bombers that had been cancelled in development back in the early 1950s, supposedly for political reasons. The resemblance is pretty striking, as both the B-2 and YB-49 have the same wingspan. The YB-49 also had a small radar cross-section. Approximately 80 pilots fly the B-2. Each aircraft has a crew of 2, a pilot in the left seat and mission commander in the right, and has provisions for a third crew member if needed. For comparison, the B-1B has a crew of 4, and the B-52 has a crew of 5. The B-2 is highly automated, and one crew member can sleep in a camp bed, use a toilet, or prepare a hot meal, while the other monitors the aircraft, unlike most two-seat aircraft. Extensive sleep cycle and fatigue research was conducted to improve crew performance on long sorties. Advanced training is conducted at the USAF Weapons School. In light of the dissolution of the Soviet Union, it was decided to equip the B-2 for conventional precision attacks, as well as for the strategic role of nuclear strike. The B-2 features a sophisticated GPS-aided targeting system, JTS, that uses the aircraft's APQ-181 synthetic aperture radar to map out targets prior to the deployment of GPS-aided bombs, JAMs, later superseded by the Joint Direct Attack Munition, JDAM. In the B-2's original configuration, up to 16 GAMs or JDAMs could be deployed. An upgrade program in 2004 raised the maximum carrier capacity to 80 JDAMs. In the envisaged Cold War scenario, the B-2 was to perform deep penetrating nuclear strike missions, making use of its stealth capabilities to avoid detection and interception throughout the missions. There are two internal bomb bays in which munitions are stored either on a rotary launcher or two bomb racks. The carriage of the weapon's loadouts internally results in less radar visibility than external mounting of munitions. The B-2 is capable of carrying 40,000 pounds, 18,000 kilograms of ordnance. Nuclear ordnance includes the B-61 and B-83 nuclear bombs. The AGM-129 ACM cruise missile was also intended for use on the B-2 platform. The B-2 has various conventional weapons in its arsenal, including Mark 82 and Mark 84 bombs, CBU-87 combined effects munitions, Gator mines, and the CBU-97 sensor-fused weapon. In July 2009, Northrop Grumman reported the B-2 was compatible with the equipment necessary to deploy the 30,000 pounds, 14,000 kilograms, massive ordnance penetrator, MOP, which is intended to attack reinforced bunkers. Up to 2 MOPs could be equipped in the B-2's bomb bays with 1 per bay, and the B-2 is the only platform compatible with the MOP as of 2012. As of 2011, the AGM-158 JASSM cruise missile is an upcoming standoff munition to be deployed on the B-2 and other platforms. This is to be followed by the long-range standoff weapon, which may give the B-2 standoff nuclear capability for the first time in a stealth configuration. To make the B-2 more effective than previous bombers, many advanced and modern avionics systems were integrated into its design. These have been modified and improved following a switch to conventional warfare missions. One system is the low probability of intercept AN/APQ-181 multimode radar, a fully digital navigation system that is integrated with terrain-following radar and global positioning system, GPS guidance, NAS-26 astro-inertial navigation system. First such system tested on the Northrop SM-62 Snark cruise missile, and a defensive management system, DMS, to inform the flight crew of possible threats. The onboard DMS is capable of automatically assessing the detection capabilities of identified threats and indicated targets. The DMS will be upgraded by 2021 to detect radar emissions from air defenses to allow changes to the autorouter's mission planning information while in flight, so it can receive new data quickly to plan a route that minimizes exposure to dangers. To address the inherent flight instability of a flying wing aircraft, the B-2 uses a complex quadruplex computer-controlled fly-by-wire flight control system that can automatically manipulate flight surfaces and settings without direct pilot inputs to maintain aircraft stability. The flight computer receives information on external conditions such as the aircraft's current airspeed and angle of attack via pitot-static sensing plates, as opposed to traditional pitot tubes which would impair the aircraft's stealth capabilities. The flight actuation system incorporates both hydraulic and electrical servo-actuated components, and it was designed with a high level of redundancy and fault diagnostic capabilities.